happens in the mind is all traced to only one thing, and that is libido. The sex urge, there is nothing else. So he gave you this dismal idea of your psychology. He made everybody psychic. He also was that. Later research, now everybody knows that Sigmund Freud had got serious psychological problems himself. So that is how he brought, and that is why Carl Jung, he differed from him. Carl Jung, he differed from him. And for those who are interested, there is a controversial yet interesting film. I think 2011 it was released, or 2010. The Dangerous Method. You can watch this. It is partly biographical or historical. So yes, psychology friends can definitely watch this. So now the point is, these three people, mind, that is what constitutes the individual, and society is predominantly based on economy. So you see, Marx hit at the society, and it had political ramifications, so politically also it hit the society. And Nietzsche hit at the personal belief system, nihilism. He hit that. And Freud did, he simply destroyed your psyche. He said that whatever happens, an abominable theory that even if you love your mother, it is because of libido. God forbid, such a devastating psychological theory. So that is what they did, and they dominated what Paul Ricoeur calls it, school of suspicion. It's also called the triumvirate of, means the group of three of suspicion. So these three people in a major way influenced philosophy in bringing suspicion. We can have their jhalaks. This is Karl Marx and this is Sigmund Freud. You see how he looks at you. Very dangerous. How many of you are aware of Harry Belafonte? So Man Piyaba, the woman Piyaba, have you heard of the song? So there he says that he went to this thing and met Freud, and he said that he asked him to lie on a couch, and he said that I see you and find you a peripatetic confusion and all that. So for Freud there was always some confusion which could be traced to your childhood, and there was some sexual something in the childhood which related to this confusion. He made things overly reductionist, simplistic. It is not so simple, and that is where Carl Jung departed from him, and Nietzsche. So Swami Vivekananda comes here and says that why we need Shraddha. You see, why we need Shraddha? Suppose I am here, I am talking to you. Say for instance, I say, when I sit in the car, when I was starting from Kolkata, I asked the driver, chalega, nahi chalega, car, whether it will run or not. Or when I come to this technical thing, laptop, I say, hoga, nahi hoga. I press this presenter and say, chalega, nahi chalega. If at every moment we start suspecting, we can practically do nothing, either sacred or secular. So Shraddha, or the basic belief from which, the basic premise from which you have to start anything, even in a mathematical this thing, you have to have some hypothesis. You have to have a beginning point. You cannot simply question everything and everything. So that is what to me is Shraddha. You have a beginning point, and from there you start your analysis. Of course, all scriptures talk of analysis, but you have to have a place where you cannot simply be in thin air, and you should have a solid ground from where you can start, and that solid ground is Shraddha. Swamiji says, what does he say? He says that I would not translate this word Shraddha to you because it is untranslatable. It would be a mistake. It is a wonderful word to understand, and much depends on it. What we want is this Shraddha. Unfortunately, it has nearly vanished from India, and this is why we are in our present state. So even now we are in the present state. In 1897 this was told, and even today we are in our present state because we don't have Shraddha. What makes the difference between man and man is the difference in this Shraddha and nothing else. I can do, it's possible, we can do. The spirit only makes a man superior or a man better than another person. Man means a human being. My master, what makes one man great and another weak and low is this Shraddha. My master, Sri Ramakrishna used to say, he who thinks himself weak will become weak, and that is true. This Shraddha must enter into you. Whatever of material power you see manifested in the Western races is the outcome of this Shraddha. The American knows, yes, it is possible. You give him any harebrained scheme, he or she knows it is possible. And they have a society, they have an economy, they have a system which makes it possible. Of course, there may be something called recession, that's a different story. But somehow they think that everything is possible. Even they may be on thin air, but still, we are on a much solid footing, but still we think nothing is possible. You see, that is the difference, because we don't have Shraddha. Believe in that infinite soul, the infinite power, which with consensus of opinion, your books and sages preach. Consensus of opinion, everybody is telling the same thing. There is no difference of opinion. That Atman which nothing can destroy, in it is the infinite power only waiting to be called out. This Shraddha is what I want and what all of us here want. This faith in ourselves before you is the great task to get that faith. Give up the awful disease that is creeping into our national blood, that idea of ridiculing everything, that loss of seriousness. You tell something and, what is this? You try to respect. You have an idea, okay, you become an entrepreneur. You have an idea, yes, you can do something. Everyone can do something. Even failure is a wonderful investment. You fail because you see, all people who fail in spiritual life, they have given me lot of education. I have a gratitude or a debt which cannot be paid to these people. Those people who fail in spiritual life, because they teach me what I should not do. So failure is a wonderful education. We need that failure. So always we think for success. No, we need. So you do all kinds of things. You try to bring moon to the earth, everything you do. Like some songs are there, Tumhare liye I will bring moon to earth, etc. So yeah, okay, go ahead, try that also, because people will know that it is not possible. We need to do that. And that loss of seriousness, give that up. Be strong and have this Shraddha, and everything else will follow. So we need this Shraddha. If you have the Shraddha, then everything else will follow. That is what is told here. And Nachiketa, Shraddha. Now you see, that is where we need to understand. Nachiketa, when he got this Shraddha, when he got this faith, on seeing the miserable quality of things which were being offered to the priests or people who have come for the sacrifice. What happened? What were the miserable quality of things? Pitodaka, Jagdatrina, Dugda Doha, Nirindriya. Pita Udaka. Udaka means water. Pita means one who has drank all water. Means these cows were being offered which had completely drank all water. Means what? They could not drink water. Means they are going to die. How can they drink water? Their condition is very poor. This is a funny way of telling the condition of the cows. So they have drank whatever water they can drink in their lifetime. Jagdatrina. Trina means grass. Jagda means eating. So they have also eaten whatever grass they can eat. So they say, oh, you cannot eat now. That means you have exhausted your quota for this lifetime. That is why you got diabetes. Because before that you have nicely fired all things you ate. Now your quota is exhausted. So okay, fine. So Jagdatrina. Dugda Doha. They have been milked also. Doha, milked. Dugda, milk. They have been milked. Whatever milk could be produced has been already produced. Nirindriya. And what more to say, they cannot also procreate. They cannot also give birth. That is also over. So Sri Ramakrishna commented on a great so-called prophet of those times. He said, what is the fun in his becoming prophet? He has had so many children, now he cannot have, so he has become prophet. So you see, that kind of a becoming a path to prophecy. So prophethood. So Nirindriya. So this Vajashravasa, his father was such a wonderful person, got this name, Vajashrava. But Vajashravas and Vajashravasa, one who is born of that father, usually it is like that. If the father is a good person, son will be pakka thug. And if son is a good if father is a thug, the son will be wonderful man. Wonderful in the positive sense. So you see, so it is always like that, ulta pulta. So here also that father's son is giving Jagda Trina, Dugda Doha, Nirindriya, Pitodaka, useless for nothing. And You are all aware of Godan, is it not? This you have to give. Suppose you have something, अरे आप चिंता मत कीजिए महात्मा जी, गोदान कर दीजिए. So if you go to Kashi or Varanasi, you can donate a cow for how much? For 5 rupees. How can you donate a cow for 5 rupees? So he has one cow ready made. You just give 5 rupees and he will show this is the cow. So you can do it for 50,000 also. That doesn't matter depending on your financial capability. So same cow will go for another person also, 10 rupees. Godana. This is going on every day. See, our pandas are very clever. And if you go to one place, they have the history of all your ancestry, who came. Oh, Ramakrishna mission, so much of Swami, such Swami came on this day, etc. Puri, you go to Vrindavan, anywhere, pandas there. So, ta dadat saha ananda namate loka tansa gacchati ta dadat. It's not Ananda, sorry, Ananda. There is a spelling mistake in the above 2 lines. Ananda namate lokas tan sa gacchati ta dadat. A person, ta dadat, a person who gives this kind of useless gifts, saha, he, gacchati te lokaha anandaha. Ananda means ana anandaha. So you have to add it like that. Ana ananda means where there is no joy. Ananda, there is a prefix ana. Avashaka, anavashaka means useless, unnecessary. Avashaka means necessary. Similarly, ananda, anananda. So it is put in a different way in a Vedic. This is called Arsha Prayoga, means rishis can tell it like that. There can be small grammar mistake here and there. So ananda. So they go to joyless worlds where there is no joy. Why? Nama. Those worlds which are called Ananda, or those worlds which are indeed joyless, they go to this Gacchati. So you see, earlier we saw Amanyata. Nachiketa thought. So what he thought is this. Nachiketa was overpowered by Shraddha and he thought. What did he think? He thought that my father is giving all these cows who cannot give any milk, cannot produce calves, and cannot take grass, cannot drink water. So a person who gives such kind of gifts, where will he go? He will go to a joyless world. So my father is conducting this sacrifice to attain heaven. Now how do I know that Vishwajit sacrifice is conducted to attain heaven? In the interpretation of Vedas, there is a rule which is called Vishwajit, the rule of Vishwajit, maxim of Vishwajit, Vishwajit Nyaya. What is that? When there is a description of the sacrifice of Vishwajit in the Vedas, nothing is told about what will happen if somebody does that. So, Agnihotram juhuyat swarga kama. So anybody who wants to attain Swarga should perform Agnihotra. That is told. Jyotishtoma, you have to do Swarga Kama. There also it is told that you have to perform Jyotishtoma Yaga, people who want to attain. But in the case of Vishwajit sacrifice, which Vajashravasa was performing, it is not told. So the interpreters say that where it is not told, you have to understand that the goal is heaven. So Nachiketa is thinking that now this sacrifice is being performed to attain heaven, but my father is doing in such a way that instead of going to heaven, he will also not maybe get a place in hell. He will go even worse place than hell. So it should not happen. Why is this happening? So sa amanyata, he thought, because he was overpowered by Shraddha. And what did he do? That is more interesting. After thinking in such manner, he hovacha pitaram tata kasmai mam dasyasi iti dvitiyam tritiyam tam hovacha mrityave tva dadami iti. Saha Nachiketa pitaram uvacha. He went to his father, pitaram, in the second case, Ramam, like that. So it becomes the object. So he asked to his father. Tata. Tata means you are all aware of Tata because Mahabharata, Ramayana, Tata. They make a wonderful translation in Hindi. So you cannot understand half the Hindi. So Shuddha Hindi. So Tata means father. Tata. Kasmai mam dasyasi. So many priests have come here, so many Ritvijas have come here. Whom are you giving me to? Now you see the question. This is the interesting point. Suddenly Nachiketa from nowhere has come and is asking his father that this is the sacrifice and you have to give all your wealth. So, kasmai tva dadami, whom are you giving dasyasi? Kasvai mam dasyasi, whom are you giving me to? Why does he ask this question? Because according to Vishwajit sacrifice, you have to give all your wealth, and definitely son is your prime wealth. So you have to give son also to somebody. So whom are you giving whom are you giving me to? The father thought this fellow, maybe his mother has not given proper breakfast. So he is making so much of problem. Maybe so pizza something has not got and creating confusion. So he didn't simply ignored, and he was going on giving all this going to be dead cows. So again he said Dvitiyam iti, he asked. Then he was not answering. So he saw, what is this? Dvitiyam, he again asked, Father, whom are you going to give me to? So you see, when somebody is doing some work, earlier days mothers are cooking. Nowadays that is a very rare phenomena. So some mothers are watching serial, say. So the small child will come, mummy, this will. So because their Tulsi condition is very bad. All these serial people have Tulsi, Savitri, some names like that. So you see, Dvitiyam, Tritiyam hovacha. He asked second time, third time. Finally, when it is not possible, then something they will tell. So similarly, when they can go to hell, something like that. GTH, go to hell. So similarly here he said, Mrityavetam dadamiti. Said, I give you to death. Means you go to hell. Those days version of telling, go to hell. Bhaad mein jao. So, Mrityavetam dadami. You become upset. What is this? You are not, I am doing such a wonderful sacrifice by giving wonderful gifts and you are coming and pestering me. So, go away. So, Mrityavetva dadamiti. So he said, Acha, Mrityave tva dadami iti. I give you to death. Means go away from here. That is the idea. But Nachiketa immediately took it. You see, this is what Shraddha is. What is Shraddha? You go to a classroom and then you know that the teacher is teaching you something wrong. Then you immediately say, hey, fool teacher, you don't know anything, keep quiet. That is not Shraddha. You say, sir, but I studied in that textbook that it was written, maybe there is some spelling mistake or printing mistake in that textbook. Can you please clarify? Then the teacher himself will say, oh, sorry. So that is the way of putting things. You can always bring, many people say, why should I speak truth? Because truth, if I speak, there will be problem. No. Truth you have to speak, but you have to speak also the correct truth. Don't hide the truth, but put it properly. Like this one story of Tenali Rama. See, Tenali Rama was there and he, one person came to his, that Vijayanagara empire, that person. What is his name? Krishna Devaraya. So Krishna Devaraya king, he came and he said, okay, astrologer, please tell me about my life. He said, okay, so he studied everything and he said, in your family everybody will die in front of you. So he got upset like that and he said that kill this person, and somehow he ran from there and rescued his life. And then he was like, he went to Tenali, he said, Tenali Rama, I went to this king and I wanted some money, but now money is a different question, distant question, is after my life. So Tenali Rama said, what did you say? So he told the thing. He said, okay, don't worry. So Tenali Rama went in the disguise of an astrologer and he went to the king. The king said, yes, nowadays astrologers are so hopeless, that fellow said that everybody will die. So you are maybe you are a good astrologer, please tell me, I will give you so much of gold coins. All those days only gold coins or pearl necklace and all that. Nowadays we don't even see it. Some asmi or some jewelry khazana, but very rare. So they used to give. So he said, I will give. Then Tenali Rama said that yes, he got that and he came to astrologer. He told his astrology, prediction, everything, and he came. So the astrologer was astonished. He said, what did you tell? You also know astrology? He said, I don't know any astrology. I told what you told, same thing I told. He said, same thing you told? But how could you get these things? He was going to kill me. He said, no, I put it in a different, old wine in new bottle. I put it in a different language. I said that you will live the longest in your family. So same thing, put it in a different language. So he was very happy. Oh, I will live the longest. Okay, give so much of pearls and necklace and gold, everything. So you see, that is the word. Shraddha avivesha. He did not say, hey father, what are you doing? Do you ever know? You have forgot Sanskrit. Do you ever know? No. In our mythology, even that kind of people are there. Ashtavakra. Now Ashtavakra was in the garbha of his mother and he was hearing the chanting of his father and all wrong pronunciation. Then from the womb, at least the story says so, from the womb he said, hey, keep quiet, you don't know chanting. So we have that kind of example also. Then he said, okay, so even before tumhara janm bhi nahi hua, we say in the manner of speaking, tumhara janmo hai nahi ekon kotha bolcho. So literally he was not born and he was correcting his father. So he said, okay, you will be born with a crooked body, bent in 8 places. So Ashtavakra. And he gave the text which is called Ashtavakra Samhita. It's a wonderful Advaita treatise. Now here also, but here Nachiketa does not put it that way. He goes to father in a different way. He says that to remain father, that in this sacrifice you have to give best things, your wealth. He says, whom are you going to give me to? See, the very question is so carefully thought. He is not saying that you are not giving the proper things. He is putting it in a different way. He is saying, whom are you going to give me to? Subtly he is putting. But the father was a total dull fellow. That's a different topic. Because you see, he says that he was so he says Mrityave. Now even when the father is telling like that, even you see Shraddha means what? He will not take that also with lack of seriousness. Even that he takes as seriously. He thinks that, oh, father is giving me to the death. To death, god of death, that is Yama. Then the question comes. What is the question? Bahunam emi prathama, bahunam emi madhyama, kim swid yamasya kartavyam, yanmaya adya karishyati. Bahunam emi. Emi means I have. Emi. Bahunam means there are so many sons my father has got. Those days they used to produce so many sons, because so many diseases used to come and maybe like that. So one cricket team, football team, everything. Even recently our grandfathers also have produced. So now they don't produce. So Bahunam, or even disciples, they used to have lot of disciples. So Bahunam, either putra among sons or among disciples. Emi prathama. In many things, among many people, I am first. I excel. Like all of us we can. This is a wonderful, again earlier what we saw is how you should have faith in the scriptures and your tradition, in your parentage, in the culture which you belong to. And at the same time you have that faith and you correct your society. Not by ridiculing it. Swami Vivekananda in his lecture Plan of Campaign says that this national ship of ours is sinking. If you can help, if you can plug that hole, do that. And if you cannot, let us all sink together. But let not one word of curse come out from our lips. You see the spirit? Oh, India mein to aise hi hota hai. And what are you? You are from Africa. So you don't talk like that. You are here. You have this belief. You have this belief in the culture, faith in this culture, in this tradition, where you belong to. This is where your roots are. You have that. And if you can correct it. If you can't, keep quiet. Do not discourage other people. Because everybody, even a person who is sleeping, is trying to do something at a different level altogether. He is also trying to, you see, now we know that when person sleeps, the body gets rejuvenated. So the best way to rejuvenate yourself is sleep. So many people are doing that. Some people are working, some people are doing some social activity. Everyone is trying to do his or her own best. Don't curse. If you can, do something positive, not negative. Okay, so that is what Nachiketa shows by asking this question. Even after that, that was the first example. Second example of character trait is a high self-esteem, a high self-respect, self-assessment. Bahuna memi prathama. I am first in many things. Maybe not in everything, but in many things. Among many I am first. There are many people behind me. I am not the last. Bahuna memi madhyama. And in some things I may not be the first, but I am middle. I am not. So here we can take it in another sense also. There are three kinds of disciples. One is Uttama. Uttama means what? One who does before even being asked to. He understands the need of the teacher or the scripture and does proactive, what we call. So in office there are three kinds of employees, like three kinds of disciples. An employee who knows and immediately does. You don't need to tell that employee. He has got what we call initiative, proactive. And another fellow is Madhyama. Madhyama disciple is what? You have to tell him and he will do it. He or she will do it. So that is Madhyama. Employee also like that. You tell, then they do. And Manda is, even if you tell, they will not do. So Nachiketa knows, I may be Prathama, I may be Madhyama, but I am not Manda. I do. Sometimes I fall asleep maybe and I don't know, but I do. Nachiketa is very confident. Among many people I am the first. Among many people I may be not the last. I am not last, but I am not the first, but I am in between. So I am not so bad. He could have given me to Brahma. He could have given me to Vishnu. He could have given me to Maheshwara or somebody or some good Brahmin priest here. Of all people, he is giving me to Yama. So black in complexion, and also you have this buffalo also is there. So much problem. So at least Saraswati you give so nice to see. That is the idea. Why suddenly he thinks about himself? Because he feels that I am being given, you see, I have done so much of work and in appraisal you are giving me such a bad rating. I did so much, I slogged so much, I did so much work and now you are not, because I did not attend your birthday party. What is this? It's not fair. You see? So Nachiketa also feels it's not fair. But he feels it in a very positive sense. He says, Kims with Yamat. There also, he does not go on arguing with the father. He says, okay, if he is giving me to such a God, there should be some purpose. There should be some purpose. Kims with, but only he is wondering what could be the purpose. Kims with Yamasya Kartavyam. What is that which is needed of Yama that I have been given, or what should I do for Yama that I have been Yanmaya Adya Karishyati? What is that which I can do for Yama? See, this is also another positive thing. He has been given this small or comparatively lower God he has been given to. But then what? Most of the people, when they are posted to some place or to a lower designation, they will stop working. That is their way of showing protest. I will not work. Give me a better placing. Nachiketa is not talking about. Nachiketa is wondering, what can I do for Yama? How can I help Yama? How can I be of some service? So, Kim self-assessment. Most of our problems can be solved if we have a good self-esteem. The problem comes is when we injure our self-respect and try to do something. At the cost of self-respect, you do anything, it will always be a failure, and at the end of maybe 15-20 years, you will feel that you are a wasted person. So that is what we get from Katha Upanishad. This idea we get. In the other classes, we will see the next mantras after puja. There are 2 weeks we will have no classes, and then we will see. Thank you. Any questions?
Regarding titiksha, that is, the mind not to react for anything. Now, mind cannot become a robot.
No, it's not. Yes.
It is only possible after self-realization, when people personally realize that there is no any other doer. Before that, mind not to react for anything.
No, that's what I told you. All the adhikari, the qualifications, properly if you have to attain, it is to be after realization only. But still they act as guideposts. For example, you know that now my mind has become more controlled, more calm. The more you know that you are on the correct path. Complete titiksha will come after knowledge of Brahman, but your anger is coming down, you know that you are on the correct path. Who asked about Vallabhacharya or Nimbarka? Who asked that question? Not there. Thank you. Any other question?
What is the actual meaning of Catholicism or Catholic?
Catholicity means universality. Catholicity means universality. Catholicism means universalism. A Catholic approach means a broad approach, universal approach. It is not Catholic Christianity. When you say Catholic Church or Catholic Christianity, then it means that particular sector. Otherwise, Catholic, I am very Catholic means I am very broad, very open-minded.
Why mind becomes calm during the Sandhya?
Maybe it is related to the nature cycle, because sun, you see, when it is very hot, we find that our mind becomes restless. Somehow there is some connection between the cycle of sun. That
It has something to do with the swaras, the alternating nostrils, the dominance of alternating nostrils. As in, at sunrise, one nostril will dominate, and slowly, for 7 minutes, both of them will dominate.
No, I am not aware of what you are talking about, but I think it has got something to do with, for example, when you have a lot of heat, particularly in the afternoon or something, your mind becomes obviously restless. So I think it has got something to do with sun, the cycle of sun, because it happens only when the sandhya or the dusk, sun is going away or sun is in a different position. Noon, sun is actually passing from forenoon to afternoon, then it happens. It is directly linked with the cycle or the passage of sun. That is as we perceive it. Sun, of course, is stationary. So that, I think that is why it happens. So if in a place like Norway, what will happen? They have sun for so many hours, we don't know. Any other question? So next time when we meet, we will just have a small revision. You will all give me a revision of what we have seen in Katha Upanishad till now. I think we can do that, isn't it? Okay, thank you.